In recent months, tech companies have laid off thousands of employees. It is estimated that in 2022 alone, over 120,000 people lost their jobs at some of the largest tech companies, including Meta, Amazon, Netflix, and soon Google, as well as smaller companies and startups. The announcements of layoffs continue. Before we go any further, make sure that you are subscribed to our channel. Why are so many businesses laying off such a large portion of their workforce? The answer is straightforward: mimicry. The majority of the workforce reductions in the tech industry are the result of social contagion. Companies in a network imitate one another's actions in a manner that is almost mindless. When some companies lay off employees, others will likely follow suit. The most problematic behavior is one that kills people. For instance, research indicates that layoffs can increase the risk of suicide by a factor of 2 or more. In addition, layoffs do not improve company performance. Academic studies have repeatedly demonstrated that workforce reductions are ineffective at reducing expenses. Severance packages cost money, layoffs increase unemployment insurance rates, and cuts reduce morale and productivity in the workplace as remaining employees wonder, could I be next? Why are so many tech companies currently laying off employees? The layoffs in the tech industry are essentially an example of social contagion, in which companies imitate what others do. If you want to know why companies lay off employees, the answer is that everyone else is doing it. Reductions in force are the result of imitation and are not particularly evidence-based. People have told me that they are aware that layoffs are detrimental to company health, let alone employee health, and that they don't accomplish much, but their board is asking why they aren't doing layoffs as well. Do you believe that layoffs in the tech industry are a sign that the tech bubble is bursting or that the company is preparing for a recession? Could a tech recession occur? Yes. Was there a valuation bubble? Absolutely. Did Meta overhire? Probably. But is this the reason for the layoffs? Of course not. Meta is extremely wealthy. These businesses are all profitable. They do it because other businesses do it as well. What are some misconceptions or myths about layoffs? There are numerous instances of laid-off employees being rehired as independent contractors, with companies paying the contracting firm. Typically, layoffs do not increase stock prices, in part because layoffs can indicate a company's difficulties. Layoffs have no effect on productivity. The underlying problem, which is frequently an ineffective strategy, a decline in market share or insufficient revenue, cannot be resolved by layoffs. In general, layoffs are a poor decision. Occasionally, newly hired employees are let go by their employers, frequently with monetary recruitment bonuses. When the economy recovers in 12, 14, or 18 months, they will return to the market and compete with the same companies for talent. They are essentially purchasing labor at a premium and selling it at a discount. Not the wisest choice. Individuals disregard the evidence against layoffs. Extensive evidence exists, some of which is discussed in my book on human resource management, The Human Equation, Building Profits by Putting People First. If businesses paid attention to the evidence, they would actually base their decisions on science, giving them a competitive advantage. Layoffs literally kill people. They kill individuals in a variety of ways. Reductions in force increase the likelihood of suicide by 1.5 times. Even in countries with better social safety nets than the United States, such as New Zealand, this is also the case. Over the following 20 years, layoffs increase mortality by 15 to 20%. There are also health and attitude repercussions for managers who lay off employees as well as for the remaining employees. Obviously, layoffs increase people's anxiety. Like many other attitudes and emotions, stress is contagious. Depression is infectious, and layoffs exacerbate stress and depression, both of which are detrimental to health. Unhealthy stress leads to a variety of undesirable behaviors, including increased smoking and drinking, drug use, and overeating. Addiction is also linked to stress, and layoffs increase stress. What was your reaction to recent headlines about mass layoffs, such as Meta's dismissal of 11,000 employees? I am worried. Recent research focuses primarily on the impact of the workplace on human health and the negative effects of economic insecurity on individuals. This follows the COVID pandemic and the resulting social isolation, which was also detrimental to people. We should place a greater emphasis on human life. If layoffs are contagious within an industry, could they spread to other industries and lead to layoffs in other sectors? Clearly, it already has. The spread of layoffs is contagious across and within industries. People argue, if everyone else is doing it, why aren't we? This logic, which is illogical, is supported by the statement, if everyone else is doing it, why aren't we? Even though final demand is uncertain, retailers are anticipatorily laying off employees. Evidently, many organizations are willing to trade a poor customer experience for reduced staffing costs, despite the well-established fact that it is typically more expensive to acquire new customers than to retain existing ones. Are there examples of similar contagious layoffs in the past, and what lessons were learned? After the terrorist attacks of September 11, 2001, every airline except Southwest conducted layoffs. Southwest, which did not conduct any layoffs, gained market share by the end of that year. Ag Leifley, the former CEO of Procter & Gamble, stated that the best time to gain ground on your competitors is when they are retreating, when they are cutting services and product innovation because they have laid off employees. James Goodnight, the CEO of the software company SAS Institute, has never engaged in layoffs. In fact, he has hired during the last 2 recessions, claiming that this is the best time to acquire talent. Any advice for workers who have been terminated? When a laid-off worker finds a job with a company that claims people are its most valuable asset, I recommend that he or she verify that the company's actions are consistent with this stated value during difficult times. If layoffs do not work, what is a better solution for companies that believe layoffs will address a problem? Instead of laying off 10% of their workforce, Lincoln Electric, a renowned manufacturer of arc welding equipment, had everyone take a 10% wage cut, with the exception of senior management, who took a larger cut. Therefore, instead of giving 100% of the pain to 10% of the population, they give 10% of the pain to the entire population. As Goodnight at the SAS Institute did during the 2008 recession and the 2000 tech recession, companies could view economic difficulty as an opportunity. He took advantage of the economic downturn to upgrade his workforce's skills as competitors eliminated jobs, thereby putting talented individuals out of work. He hired during the recession of 2000 because he saw it as an opportunity to gain ground on the competition and market share when everyone else was cutting jobs and ceasing to innovate. And this presents an opportunity. Social media will not disappear. The artificial intelligence, statistical software, and web services industries will not cease to exist. In conclusion, it is clear that the widespread layoffs in the tech industry are largely driven by social contagion and are not based on evidence. While layoffs may seem like a quick and easy solution, they often do more harm than good, both for individual employees and for the overall performance and well-being of the company. It is important for companies to carefully consider the long-term consequences of layoffs and to explore alternative solutions to any challenges they may be facing. By basing their decisions on evidence and prioritizing the well-being of their employees, companies can create a more sustainable and successful future for all involved. If you enjoyed today's video, then feel free to smash the like button and subscribe to our channel.